Hello, hello, hello. It's episode 31 of the MicroMuse. And this week I'm doing something a little bit different. What's in for 2026? And this is based on being at Higher Voltage in London a couple of weeks ago, Christine Gritman's Higher Voltage event, which was fantastic. It was really, really good fun. And during that event, I had the pleasure of listening to two of my clients speak on stage, which is always a delight, and it just makes me so proud. But also, I heard Teresa Heath Waring speak on the current landscape for entrepreneurs and small business owners, and it was really interesting, and also really hopeful and helpful because she had a lot of truths to share, but also a lot of optimism to offer as well. And so I just wanted to, I'm full disclosure, kind of reading an email I wrote the other day. I'm tired today. I was teaching all day yesterday at Solihull College, so I'm going for easy options today. But yeah, so it would be easy to think that the future looks bleak because the media is full of nothing but doom. And I'm not here to be a pollyanna. Things genuinely are tough in a variety of fucktangular ways, but we have more agency than we realize with our own actions, despite the current timeline. So I wanted to just take a bit of a look at the reality here. And some of these are things that were shared by Teresa, and some of them are things that I've kind of worked out over the last year or so. So yeah, okay, almost everyone is in a crowded market online. There is very little brand new under the sun, and that can make it seem like we're screaming into the void, right? We're just trying to be a little louder than everybody else, saying more or less the same thing. Attention is harder to earn than ever. Feeds are fast, the algorithms are unfriendly, the algorithms are designed by people who do not have our best interests at heart, and they are inherently biased against anyone who is not straight, white, and male because that's who built them. And nobody knows how they work either, by the way, despite the people who are like, oh, I can tell you how the algorithm works. You can't. Buyers are also more skeptical, as they should be. There is a lot of shadiness out there, and as people grow more desperate to stand out, their claims are going to become more outlandish and their results are going to be less impressive. And there's a lot of talk about a trust recession. I think that's been in the cards for a while. And effort no longer necessarily yields results. This is really important to understand because I know so many people working so hard with their content and their marketing, and they're still struggling to get out there. This is not like the good old days of the internet where anyone with a half decent blog could get a really good audience and monetize it. And it did used to be like that because I was there at the beginning of that. Times have changed. Human brains haven't really changed. It's taken thousands of years to evolve to the pinnacle. I don't know, to where we are now. So human brains haven't changed. The way that humans work hasn't really changed, but the architecture of the world around us has. And the cherry on this shit Sunday is that AI, oh my god, is pumping out content faster than ever. So every single day, right? If this doesn't make you horrified, then I think you need to sit with it for a bit. AI podcasts release something like 40 new episodes every single day. And we have fully AI created courses and podcasts now too. No humans involved, which frankly makes me want to puke into the pockets of whoever is making these things. There is too much content. There is too much information, and there is an absolute fire hose of bullshit fakeness online. And I say fuck that. There is no point in trying to compete with it because we simply cannot do it. There's no way. But we can do something that AI could never ever do, and we can do something to counteract all of the stuff that I've just mentioned. And that is really speaking in our own voices, like really making a commitment to speak in our own voices, to develop our own voices, to honor our own voices, and speak about our own human experiences. And while we're doing that, make real human connections. This is really, really important because my AI, Claude, which I use for all sorts of stuff, it cannot write what I write. And I know this because I've tried to get it to do so out of morbid curiosity. It just cannot get into my head, and it cannot use my turns of phrase the way I do. No matter how good the tech gets, it will never have lived my life or thought my thoughts or made my connections or felt what it's like to hold, for example, the entire audience in the palm of my hand at a comedy night in Bristol on a wet Sunday. And that is why my email newsletter is growing slowly yet consistently, because people know that I'm real. They know that my writing is real. It's my voice. And that is why my books sell at a genuine trickle, even though I don't market them nearly enough, because an AI has never been anywhere near them and never will. And that brings me to the antidote to all of this bleakness is that we have to use the voices we have, and we have to do so unapologetically and unashamedly. I'm not saying step away from the internet entirely. I'm not saying don't use AI at all. I use AI for a variety of different tasks. I'm still active on LinkedIn. I kind of show up on Instagram sometimes, although that place makes me sad. My email newsletter is thriving, and I've made lifelong ride or die friends because of the internet. But my real connections exist offline as well. In my books, in my zines, the conversations I have, the rooms that I put myself in, despite my fears and aversions to being in rooms and at events, it is worth it for me. And I'm a book coach, so of course I'm going to say this, but I believe it with my whole heart and soul. Write a book. It can do for you what screaming into the online void never can. Because a book gives you authority that actually means something. It's relationships built on substance and not the look of the algorithm. It's a body of work that exists independent of whether a tech bro woke up grumpy. So your voice permanently on the record saying exactly what you mean, nobody can interrupt you until you finish saying it. And then it gives people space to think about it as well. So I just wanted you to have a bunch of stuff that I've kind of been thinking about, like where the landscape of the world is at the moment, where the landscape of business is and of marketing, and have a few things to consider. And really, rather than trying to counteract this with a fire hose of more and more and more stuff that you're feeling pressure to put into the world, instead of that, step back and think about what have you really got to say. What have you really got to share? Because that's what's going to make the difference. That's what's going to stand out in the sea of endless AI slop that is just going to get worse and worse. So I am a big advocate for email lists, for writing your book, and for not getting too involved in nonsense on social media. Yeah, so my 5-minute takeaway for you today is set a timer for 5 minutes and use your voice. Like, what do you care about deeply? Let yourself write about it. And I'm not saying just like rage about stuff, but what do you love? Like, what are you positive and hopeful about? What solutions can you see to all of the shit going on right now? And then tidy it up and put it out there. Maybe that could be the start of your book. Who knows? And I have 2 spots available now for a one-off 90-minute coaching session to get you started with your book. And if you would like more information about that, drop me a DM. I will send you all of the info about it, and we can get you started, because this is important. It's important, guys. Thank you so much. I will be back next week with another Microsoft. Oh my God, what am I doing? The billionaires are getting into my head. Another MicroMuse session. I'll see you then.